little bit of trouble. Let's see if this is going to work. Testing 1, 2, 3. It says it's going there. Oh, and I'm getting a green line there. That's good to see. Make sure we're both going. Let's try this one. That work? Yes, that worked. Output, right. Okay. Let's see if that's working. Okay, are we streaming? Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I still don't seem to be getting sound, unless maybe. Maybe it was me the whole time. Testing 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's that sound. It was me the whole time. I plugged in another sound source for this demonstration, and it took over the sound card. Well, there you go. Typical. Operator error. 9 times out of 10, it is operator error that brings around the problem. Okay. I now have a second unit, which means that everybody just watched me say testing 1, 2, 3, left and right. He's probably laughing at me. Go away. All right. So, hi everybody. Sorry, that was very poor form on my part. But what are you going to do? I just created, where was I? So that threw me for a little bit of a loop. I created a review video. I've been getting some microphones from manufacturers because I posted a video review of a microphone, and now I'm getting lots of them from manufacturers saying, hey, will you review this microphone? And what happens is they send me the microphone that they want reviewed, and I purchase it, and they then refund my purchase once I've posted the review. So for me, it's free microphones, and some of them are pretty good. So I have a video that I've just made. I'm also practicing the hybrid webinar method here on Restream I'm using. I want to see how well it works. So that's another reason why I'm doing it this way. I have to upload the video, which I had on the prior stream, and of course I got messed up with that because I was being an idiot. But let's see, we'll upload this one and see how well this works. And let me just turn this other thing way down. There we go. So I'm going to hit play on this and see how well that works. And I'll be back in about 8.5 minutes because the video is 8.5 minutes. And then I want to talk about polar patterns for microphones. A little bit of an understanding about polar patterns for microphones. And we'll see how much trouble I get in when I do that. So here's the video, and I'll be back in a moment. Hi everybody, I got another microphone. This one is the Boom XD. Let's see what we have here. 2.4 digital, 1 trigger, 2 wireless microphone. So we have a receiver and 2 microphones. This is pretty cool. Those are cute. So let's see what we have in here. We've got, okay. Foam rubber. This is nice. They've labeled it. It's not a no-name brand. Another microphone. Okay. This is a decently long microphone. Okay. USB to a USB-C. Okay. Mini phone plug. Stereo. Stretchy cord. Something soft in here. Tiny little windscreen or another one of these. This one's got, one's orange, one is gray. And another one of these. Oh, this one is black. So there's 3 of those. So we have 2 microphones. These have microphones that are attached to them. And I think that's what the windscreen is, which makes them awfully big. But we've got these that you can wear. And that's the receiver. Comes fully charged. So we've got A and B. We've got dBs in there. And it says stereo. So now let's turn on this one. Pair and mute and power. There's a reset button here and a recharge port. Oh, testing 1, 2, 3. Look at that. The little lines are moving. Okay, testing 1, 2, 3. So let's see. This is the side left. And we'll turn this one on. And that's the side right. There is. I'm going to put on this microphone. We'll try that. So let's put it right here. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so when you plug the microphone in, it disconnects this microphone and just makes it active over here. That's good to know. Now I will tell you that I'm getting a slight noise from my speakers, from my computer. Let's try turn these off and see if the noise goes away. And yes, the noise went away. Turn this one on. I don't hear the noise yet. It's trying to pair, as you can see right there. So I'll turn this on. And let's see what happens when it's paired. Yes, it's paired. Oh, look at that. This was B before, and now it's paired to this side. So I guess it pairs in order. And the noise is back. Testing 1, 2, 3. Yep, the noise is back. The FCC says you're not allowed to make a device that won't interfere with other things. And obviously, if you have some sort of radio that's right near some sort of other electronic device that could pick up radio waves, it might hear it. And my desktop audio is hearing it. Let's move my microphone closer. So truthfully, what that's going to mean for us for outside and away from the computer, I don't know yet. I'm going to continue testing it. That's a small price to pay at the moment. But that's one thing to keep in mind, that if you're in an environment like that, it could have an effect. So I see that according to the instructions, in order to change the gain here, we press these buttons here. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah, you'll see that the A side is moving up and down. So it goes from 1 through 11, 12, and then 0. So you can turn them up or down as needed. Okay, so to use this with my iPhone, I'm going to need to use my headphone to iPhone adapter. It is too bad that they don't include one. I think these are around $8 on Amazon. One of the major benefits about wearing a lapel microphone, instead of having to use the microphone in the camera, is that you can put some distance between you and the camera. It allows for a better frame shot. Now this isn't a great shot. You're not going to see what I'm doing here on the counter as I'm cooking, but it's good for a far away shot. And right now I'm using the microphone with the camera that's all the way over there. In another part of this video, I'm outside with my kid and we're talking with 2 microphones. So the camera's all the way over there. Mm-hmm. I want you to take a picture of how far away the camera is. Okay, so I can insert it into the video. The camera's a good 40 to 50 feet away. Thank you very much. Oh. Now zoom in on it. So we get a close shot. Okay, it's on a tripod and the receiver is over there and we're both wearing a microphone.
Yes, we are wearing microphones.
We are. The best thing about using microphones like this is that you don't have to yell. You can talk in a normal voice. This one, I like that there's two microphones with it. I also like the fact that there is a lapel microphone at the end of the wire.
I like that it's because of the news.
The news aspect?
Yes.
You'd like to be a newscaster?
Kinda.
Kinda. So what we're going to do now is that the microphones also have the possibility of taking out the lapel microphone. So I'm going to take the wire out, and it has this built-in microphone. So now, let's take your wire out too, and we're going to clip this right to my shirt. Right there like that. We're going to see how this sounds. So now we're wearing it on our collars.
We are now wearing the thingies that were connected
Come
to
on over
the
here.
thingies.
Let's walk towards the camera.
We are now going to walk towards the camera.
We're walking towards the camera. We're going to see how these things sound. He's going to do his funny walk. You know, there's a house around the block that has the funny walk zone.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. So that's how this microphone sounds. If I were doing an actual video right now, I would have another camera here looking at my cutting board, and I could have that camera further away. And depending on which camera has the best sound, that's the one that I'm going to use this microphone with. Now for this demonstration, I'm wearing the lapel microphone on my shirt. And I've taken the second transmitter and I've just left it over here on the counter. So that while I'm working, I could have some cutting noises, I could have some tong noises. Let's pull out a knife and pretend I'm cutting something. And then I can mix it together again later. So there is an advantage to having two microphones, even though I'm working by myself and not talking to somebody else. Distance, because I just got this one as from the manufacturer. They've reimbursed my purchase for this in exchange for the review. But I always tell the truth. I'm straight up with these. Thanks for watching. I hope this review is helpful. Okay, I'm back. Hopefully that worked okay. So, what I want to go over now. Did that work? If it did, please put something into the chat so I see it. Let's see. That looks like it's live. That looks like it's working. Oh, there we go. That's over there. All right. So, polar patterns, microphones. Oh, any thoughts on that video? I'm going to send it to the people who sent me the mic so they can reimburse me. Again, it's sort of a, a paid thing, but what are you going to do? It's, they were nice microphones. They sounded good outside. I have another one in the pipeline to review next, and then I reviewed another one a few weeks ago. So if you go to Scott Parker Tech Tips on YouTube, you'll see the other reviews. Polar patterns, some basic information about polar patterns. Let's pull out this view here. No, we'll do this view here. So I have here a couple of microphones. A standard sort of a mic that you would hold up like this and talk like so. This is a shotgun microphone, very long and very directional. And then a very popular blue Yeti or Yeti Blue microphone that a lot of people are using right now for their podcasts and or streaming and such. And when I started, this was the first really good microphone that I bought for my podcasting or for my video editing stuff. I now use an Electro Voice RE20 for my main microphone that sits here. It's on a boom arm, and it's pretty good at being relatively directional and rejecting other noise around it. So polar patterns. Just pull up something for myself here. There we go. So there are some terms. There's a cardioid. I'm going to do a more in-depth video on the history of these terms or what the terms really mean sometime in the future. But a basic cardioid pattern, which you may or may not have heard of, well, you have now, is when you're looking at a microphone like this, if I'm holding it like so, it's going to pick up what I'm talking about, and it's going to reject sound from other positions. And so that pattern is going to look something like this. So it's going to listen to sound from here, 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 and there. But it's going to reject the sound. If I'm holding like this, it's going to reject the sound from all the stuff over there. So that's a cardioid pattern. Then we have a figure 8 pattern, which is more like this. Okay. And often that'll be like on a microphone like this when you're talking from one side of it and to the other side of it. So it's more like looking down at it. If this kind of microphone, well, this one actually would fit really well in there. See that? So there's a setting to have people talking from over there and from over here. So it's a figure 8 pattern. And in fact, on the back of this unit, there is a knob. Let's hit my down view. Here, let's turn around. Here we have this knob that gives us the choice of doing a cardioid or an omnidirectional, which is all the way around. I'll draw a picture of that. There's a figure 8, and then there's stereo. So I know they both look like figure 8s, but one is a figure 8 and one is stereo because it's got the overlapping circles as opposed to just a figure 8 or an infinity sign. So that's the one that we talked about just a moment ago with just this side. And then if I change it to this one over here, then I've got this figure 8 pattern right there. So this pattern works really well if people are going to be on one side of the desk or the other side of the desk, talking to each other. So this is a great microphone for podcasters, somebody doing an interview. It's even better if you have individual microphones, one for one person, one for the other, so that you can change the levels of each microphone. If somebody talks a little bit louder or softer and so on. It's also really nice to have the signal going in stereo so that later when you're mixing it, you can turn one person up and one person down if needed to balance your audio. But in a single mic setup, this is a terrific mic for both sides. Or like that video review where it came with 2 mics, each person would wear their own microphone. And that particular set had gain control, which was pretty cool. You can, if somebody's a louder talker, or if their microphone is closer to them, you can turn down their gain, and vice versa. So that's the back to polar pattern. So this is the figure 8 pattern that works that way. This was the cardioid pattern. And now let's talk about something that's called a supercardioid pattern. There's a hypercardioid, subcardioid, and supercardioid. They're all in the same family, which is more of a pattern that applies to something like a shotgun. What it looks like is this pattern here. It's close to that pattern. Let's move over here. This shotgun microphone has a very focused pattern, but it also has a little bit of a side thing right there and a side thing right here and just a little bit of a background pattern. But one of the ways they get around that, see this little vent? There's a little vent right there and one over here, because it has to figure out a way to reject that sound. So it does let it in, and the capsule can be further back to sort of keep the sound directional. It depends on your shotgun mic. This is a discontinued mic. It's an Akg C568B. They're no longer available. And that's the pattern for this microphone. So this one's really terrific if you want something from a distance. I would use these in theater from the balcony rail or up on the rear side of the proscenium to pick up voices from a distance. Very directional. And it rejects the sound from other places. So that's a super cardioid pattern. Okay. These are great mics for a lot of people. A lot of people who are doing videos and podcasts and training videos might use this kind of microphone to keep it out of the camera shot. So it can be much further away. In a future video, I will switch out this microphone and put this one in and have like an A/B test so you can hear that. But that's for a later date. If you're interested in that sort of thing, please like and subscribe to this channel and get notified. Click the bell so you can get notified for that kind of material. Back to this mic. The only reason I'm using this mic a lot is because it has this dial so that I can give you these examples. So that's the figure 8. That's the cardioid. This is the omnidirectional. I don't think I drew a picture of the omnidirectional. That's basically just a big circle. Okay, it picks up all the way around. Okay. And then this one is the figure 8, so it'll pick up stereo. Well, that's the stereo. Somebody over there, somebody over here, left and right, or somebody here and here. This is you could mix this later on where you bring up the left channel and the right channel a little bit more or less. And then if you're just doing a podcast or something simple, you can then mix it to mono output so it sounds even, but you can adjust the levels and such. This Blue Yeti, it's supposed to face you like this. Okay. So it should, let's see, if I'm in this picture, there we go. It should be facing me like that. Okay. I've seen some people who are pointing the microphone at like this. That's not the way it's designed. Okay. I wish I could take it apart. I don't want to break it. So that's how that works. Here we go. I'll take this one apart. So this is where the sound goes in here, and it's fairly, it's that cardioid pattern that we had before. So it's going to pick up the sound just from my voice going this way. So if I'm talking like this, like that, I would be talking and it would pick up my voice. It wouldn't pick it up necessarily from this direction nearly as well. So that's the super basic thing about polar patterns. And there are plenty of polar patterns out there. If you Google microphone polar patterns, you'll find all these patterns that I've just drawn. And the pattern will probably be drawn with some sort of X and Y with some other angles to it. Okay, and they'll have circles like that. And they'll give you measurements of degrees, 0 degrees, 90 degrees, to 70 degrees, and 180 degrees, and so on. It'll also give you information about the sensitivity and the distance. So you might have these rings out here. This might say 5 dB. Sorry, it's a small d and a big B, and that's because it's decibels, and that's because the bell is a name, bell. So, and then this one, so you're going to get, let's say 5 dB, and then minus 10 dB, and so on. So you're going to get these different numbers that tell you the sensitivity of the microphone. There's the choosing microphones for a given task is a huge task, and there are people who are simply microphone experts, and that's all they deal with. They spec certain microphones for certain things. If you look at a band and they're playing, you'll see different microphones for different instruments. It's because they have different polar patterns and different resonances and different qualities. And sound designers will choose the appropriate microphone for the appropriate use. There you go. So that was just a bit about a video review and a bit about polar patterns. And please subscribe and let me know your comments. And we'll see you next time. Thanks.